I went to check on my neighbor's open door. What I saw inside wasn't her. It started small. One Friday evening, my husband Mark and I pulled into our driveway, and I noticed our neighbor Isabelle's front door standing wide open. She lives right across the street. Isabelle's young, always smiles politely when we pass, but we've never been close. I figured she was hauling in groceries or maybe waiting on someone, but later that night, when I walked our dog Bailey, the door was still open. Isabelle's car sat in the driveway, but her house was completely dark. Bailey stopped in her tracks and refused to go closer, her ears sharp, eyes fixed on the doorway like something was standing there. I called out across the street, trying to sound casual. "Hey, Isabelle, you left your door open." There was a pause. Then her voice came from the darkness. "Oh, hi. Thanks for checking. I'm fine. Just letting some air in." Her tone was off. Too cheerful, too close, like she was right behind the door. But when I squinted, I couldn't see anyone at all. I tugged Bailey home, but my stomach felt heavy. The next morning it rained. Isabelle's door was still open. Rain poured in, soaking her rug. Mark stood beside me at the window, shaking his head. "Something's wrong. Doors don't just stay open like that," Bailey growled low, staring across the street with her fur bristling. That afternoon, Mark's sister texted him a warning. Someone had been seen a few blocks over, peeking into windows. She described a tall, thin woman with a grin stretched too wide and teeth that looked all wrong. My hands trembled reading it. I couldn't ignore Isabelle anymore. Pulling on my raincoat, I crossed the street. Bailey barked wildly from our window as I climbed the porch. The smell hit me first, sweet and metallic, like rust and spoiled meat. "Isabelle?" I called. Her voice floated back instantly. "Not a good time. I'm eating." The wet, tearing sound that followed made bile rise in my throat. I forced a laugh. "You should really close your door." She giggled. "Why don't you come close it for me?" Against every instinct, I stepped inside. My hand brushed the wall. Searching for the light, switch. Then I touched something. Warm, flesh. A laugh rose inches from my ear, but it was wrong. Deep, jagged, too wide for a human throat. I found the switch. The light flickered on. My stomach dropped. Isabelle's body was sprawled across the couch, skinned and hollow, her empty socket staring at me. Something moved in the corner, tall and thin, its face hidden in shadow. It whispered in Isabelle's voice, "Thanks for stopping by. You should come over more often." I bolted into the rain, screaming for Mark. We called the police, but they refused to tell us anything. Only that Isabelle's house was under investigation. Her front door has been boarded up since, but Bailey still sits by our window every night, growling low. And last night, long after Mark had fallen asleep, I heard Isabelle's voice outside our door, soft and sweet. "Could you open up for me? I get so hungry in the dark."